In today's episode, we are celebrating International Women's Day under the theme Give to Gain, diving into the world of digital transformation with one of Kenya's most influential voices in communication and marketing. A corporate digital communication strategist, social media and content marketing expert, trainer, founder of ATC Digital Academy, media personality, and a top-ranked digital woman in Kenya. She's hosted spaces, spoken on stages, trained thousands, and consistently dropped gems on everything from simplifying brand strategy to why automation is what humans are using right now to thrive in businesses. Let's give it up to Janet Machuka. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Take It From Me podcast, a platform where we discuss digital marketing, AI, technology, creativity, and innovation. And today I'm sitting here with a very beautiful guest, first of all. And secondly, she's one of the biggest digital strategists that we have in Kenya. And for that matter, she's also a lady, and March is also a women's month, and we want to celebrate what she's going to give us so that we can also gain, because the theme for this year's International Women's Day is Give to Gain. So I know the story is going to help somebody out there. If somebody wants to penetrate in the digital space, what are you supposed to do? What has she gone through? What has the challenges been? And what are the successes, the platforms she's been able to hack? And yeah, welcome, Janet Machuka.
Thank you for having me.
Habari ya masiku mingi.
Salama.
You know me, I have been seeing you online, and I'll tell you for free, because I've also told you that you are somebody that I've always been looking up to from way back, like since I knew you up to now. I think I talk to you via DM. Sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't, but I understand the nature of your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, who is Janet?
Wow, where should I start? Should I give the professional? Or
No, me leo
leo
ninataka unipatie even the things that we don't know about Janet.
Okay.
Ile tundi, at least even somebody from Murang'a can look at you and be like, I can be that lady.
Oh, great.
Somebody mwenye amemaliza shule, anaingia college, and maybe digital space is what they want. They look at you and be like, I want to be that woman.
Okay. My name is Janet Machuka. Currently, I go with the title Corporate Digital Communications Strategist and Trainer.
Okay.
I also do digital marketing, where I run a business, and also an edtech platform called ATC Digital Academy, where we train on soft skills and any other marketing related and digital courses.
Okay.
So when you ask me, who is Janet Machuka that you don't know?
Yeah, the ones we don't know.
I think most of the time, if you look at digital, people will be like, that's a professional lady who does ABCD, and that is it. Because I might not really have been able to share much of who I am and where I come from and all that. I'll say from my end, for those who were thinking of me from digital point of view, I'm just a girl from a village.
Okay.
And I love the fact that I grew up and I learned a lot from the village, because that is what I can say that grounded me to realize what I want to do and what I want to focus on when it comes to my professional point of view.
Yeah.
If you ask me what I wanted to be, I never imagined anything close to digital, building influence, gaining from it, helping people. I just wanted to be employed and maybe earn around 50,000 Kenya shillings. Nishituka somewhere where I'm comfortable, nilipe rent yangu nikule, I'm done.
Yeah.
But one of the things that really has helped me to realize who I am as Janet Machuka is that aspect of, what if I try this?
Yeah.
What if I give myself an opportunity to learn this? I am the kind of a person, the lady from the village, first girl to go to the a national school.
Okay.
And first girl to go to university from my village.
Yeah.
So sometimes imagine when you have that, most of the people always envision you want to go and do the big. corporate
course.
collar
The
jobs,
engineer.
the engineer, the
The
lawyer.
pilot,
Everyone
yeah.
used to call me a lawyer, to
Yeah.
a point that I had to believe, by the way, I'm a lawyer. But again, it narrowed down to what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And this happened during our waiting time to go to campus. And we, for the first time in 2013, 2014, we were given an opportunity to change our courses.
Okay.
And I had written a book about me. And this is a book I've never published. Don't ask me why, but I believe its time will come.
That young.
It's called Pain in Success.
Okay.
I have a story to tell, but there's some things I feel like I can keep them for the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe for those years, I'll be like, now finally I want people to really
know.
understand and know me. So after writing it, I remember going to my brother. I'm like, oh, I've written this book. My brother was like, wow, this is really amazing. What do you want to be? I'm like, I just want to learn and be maybe a writer and maybe a journalist, maybe be in the media space. I think that's the time I was like, I need to do something about media. I changed my careers. So I chose media science as one of the courses that I wanted to do in campus. Of course, people would be disappointed. Oh, another journalist, mwanahabari jameni. Tutakusikiza tu wewe ni, as in people start thinking about you from a point of tutakuona kwa TV, tutakusikiza kwa radio. And then again, something shifted once I started my course in Moi University. This is the first time I went for internship interviews. I went to the first one. Of course, I never got a chance. But I think the reason why I was pushing myself to go to internships as early as from first year to second year is because I wanted to prove everyone that I didn't make the wrong decision and the choice of me becoming someone in the media space. I just envisioned myself as someone who is going to be great, but I didn't know exactly how great will I be. And so it went from, getting a chance to work with Standard Media, and that is the first time I got introduced into the digital space from a job point of view. But earlier, I was just using Facebook to share about what I do in school.
But you didn't know that
I didn't know much.
Somebody can do something.
I didn't. I just knew that people are making money. There's a friend of mine who told me, blogs are making money. I opened a blog on Blogger for Google. No one paid me. I got disappointed. But when I got to the media house, that is when I was like, wow, so people can sit behind a computer and actually monitor something, and then they are paid just for sitting and just checking out things on digital. I got really fascinated by that. And one of the things that really made me want to learn is the fact that I was asked to check traffic. I didn't know what they meant by traffic in that sense.
Oh, really?
I thought
like digital
it was
traffic.
Exactly. Mimi nilikuwa nadhani ni barabara. Unajua standard.
Are you for real? Like traffic jam.
Barabara. So when someone says traffic, you think about the barabara first. If
so ukaenda Mombasa Road kuangalia.
Uzuri wa standard, you can actually overlook the road. So I was like, I went to the window and then I came back. I'm like, the traffic today. Unajua zile like, oh my God. Thank God the person I was talking to, Aqua, my supervisor, she was like, no, when it comes to traffic, it's something on the Google Analytics. You check on how many people are reading the article. I was like, curious me. I was like, I need to learn these things. I need to get into classes. I need to understand what does it entail. And that is how I transitioned and found myself on X. And I think the reason why I found myself on X is because I was looking for people who have really mastered now the social media. By then I didn't know much about digital marketing. It was about social media marketing and social media posting. And that is how my journey started. That is how I transitioned now from also being a journalist. And then I was like, Mr. Kitana kwa mwanahabari. I just want to hide behind the scenes. And looking at myself as someone who was really anxious every time I'm in front of people. Sometimes you want to hide yourself because ukona ile introvert issues, you know? You don't want so many people to know you. You just want to do your own things. You're in campus. You don't want to mess, from the village, the mess I mean.
I know.
You just want to be, kila mtu mwenye ametulia huko. So I think that's one of the things I loved about digital. It's like, no one is going to meet me, number one. That's good. Number two, I have no chance to meet so many people. And then number three, we are in Kenya where people have a totally different behavior on how they react on social media.
True.
So I decided I'm going to create a network of people outside Kenya. And that really helped me a lot because I was like, wow. So I can connect to someone from the USA and we can just chat and have fun. And learn from them, and I can be in class. Someone in the USA teaching me here in Kenya. That fascination really helped me build Janet Machuka, who you see right now.
Okay.
Even though sometimes people would even always ask me, at what point you realize that digital is one of the things that you really wanted to venture into?
Yeah.
I'll tell you for sure, for me, I didn't know much. And one of the things I usually still say that really propelled me to understand professionalism is media. Because digital is a media space.
Yeah.
So I can't say that taking my course for media science was a mistake. It actually grounded me.
Okay.
It made me realize how to use the media space for professional reasons, how to think about ethics, how to think about presentation, how to think about professionalism in general, and how to navigate through the aspect of influence.
Yeah.
So that's what has made me the Janet Machuka, even though there's some things, of course, there's pick a chenga here and there, but we are here.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Such is. But I'd really want to understand, because I know apart from the digital world, you've also been in other corporate spaces. You've worked with Safaricom, right?
Yes.
You've worked with it's called Oxfam, yeah?
International.
Yeah. Just take me through, like, what were you doing in the spaces? What was the nature of your work? Like, what impact did you feel by the time I'm leaving this space? I have done this. As a woman, I have done this.
Wow. If I have to look at the number of brands I've worked with, there are so many.
Please
Sometimes I can't even count.
Mention them.
But I will mention the ones.
Brag. Please brag.
I will mention the ones I feel like they give me a lot of mileage in my career. And I'll go back from Standard Media, because I did my internship after that. And then I went back during the 2017 presidential debate on a contract. First time earning good money. Ish.
How much were you earning?
It was 60,000, or I think it was around
Pesa
60,000.
mingi, your time.
Mwanafunzi.
Pesa mingi, your time. Yeah.
The presidential debate was just short-lived, I think, by then.
It was the 2017 elections.
Okay. For the first time, we had the presidential debate, and then it was really well organized. So they requested to look for a content creator who is going to manage content for the website. And the reason why they looked for the likes of me is because when I was at Standard Media, I shared my story. And my story was in terms of the articles. So they liked how I was writing my articles. So kuna hiyo aspect here, you're a good writer. You can actually also make a good writer when it comes to managing content.
Yeah.
And at the presidential debate side. I didn't like politics, but I didn't go there for money.
Of course. Yeah.
I didn't go there for money, yes. And that is one of the best times I can say that helped me transition and understand how to make money in these spaces, because that was back in 2017. I was in my third year.
Okay.
And one of the things happened during the presidential debate is I was asked to go and interview one of the candidates on Facebook, because Facebook had partnered with Standard Media to do the 360 conference.
Okay.
And I think that is the time I was like, every time I'm trying to hide, people are pointing me out. They want me to do something.
You're still shining.
I'm like, what? Is it the skin color? Is it what is
the
making
skin is
me
popping, so
be identified? I used to now think about how can I pull myself back? How can I hide? How can I make people not to find me? But at the same time, I remember having a conversation with one of the tutors who I was attending their classes in the US. I was like, I want to hide. I want to do content marketing alone. But every time I want to hide, I'm pulled into the limelight.
Space, yeah.
I don't know how to go about it. And then she told me this. Actually, that is the best way to think about making money. So I go like, how do I make this money? So how do I make this money? And then I remember I am a lover of communities. I used to create Facebook pages. And I think also being part of the Standard Media online or other social media management space helped me to really understand how to interact with people from a community point of view. And so I started creating my own pages and I was writing poetry. Your time nilikuwa in love. So
bado mko pamoja. Anyway,
so you could write those poems and people will be, they love them and blah, blah, blah. And of course they didn't know who it was. I never share such information on social media. So that also made me realize that I have a strong potential when it comes to managing people and building conversations around people. So I created WhatsApp groups. We started learning about branding and blogging. We started learning about creating your social media pages from just a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And then something
so
happened.
You guys were teaching each other.
Yeah, we are teaching each other. And then, Maku, one of the things I think I learned earlier than 2017 is that you don't have to really know something so much for you to teach someone. Okay. Even if you're a beginner, there's something someone who has no idea how to start wants to know from them. Then you can teach them, you can help them. And I think the moment I realized that, I was like, I'm going to go with this. So we started in 2017, and then something happened in 2017. I was verified on X. Ooh. And the reason why I was verified, I think, is because of the journalistic aspect of it. And I had already been featured, into some articles and to televisions and magazines. I was just doing it as a random thing. Let me try and see if this thing can work. And it worked. Yeah. So when the verification came in 2017 and beyond, or before now, the Elon Musk era, it used to be a huge deal. A big deal, by the way.
On X, me I'd rather tungeniambia Facebook. X is big deal.
And that is the time I think I had like around 20,000 followers there.
Currently you have how many followers? So maybe 500k?
No.
How many
around
do you
200 and 240.
But that's a lot on X. Yeah. I'd tell you that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was like, wow. So this badge, what can I do with it? So I started to rethink of, how can I make money out of it? Earlier, I had started getting those to small events. You go, you speak. Unalipwa tu pesa ya transport ya matatu. But 1,000 ya kutumia matatu ya Nairobi then ilikuwa pesa mingi sana for a student. And I think that is the time I had to sit down and rethink and structure myself. What do I really want out of here? Yeah. This badge, how can I make good use of it? How can I build now my professionalism in the sense brand. That sina time ya... Yes, kuna good banters, but I don't have to abuse people. I've never abused anyone. Yeah. So that is the time, the moment I thought about structuring myself, I found someone to help me navigate on how to build a business mindset. Because one of the things sometimes I noticed we really lack a lot, we have the way of building and the skills, but when it comes to monetizing and having a business mindset about it, inakwa very vague, and you don't know the lines and how to go about it. And you don't know
what to do.
Absolutely. So that really helped me repackage myself, and I had to rethink of how many skills do I have, by the way? How can I present myself in a way that I can work with businesses, I can work with the likes of Google. And that's the first time StarTimes reached out. I was like, I'm getting 20,000 per month. Ooh, good money for me to start my life as a student still. So I'm now paying my own school fees, rent. I don't know why unatoka kuishi kwa hostels.
Unaenda una rent nyumba outside.
Rent nyumba because there's money coming. And then later on, after now the StarTimes, I think one of the things that happens in influencer marketing is the moment one brand picks you.
So
Every
many
other
brands
brand
now
start
look
looking at you and what are you doing, how you're presenting yourself and all that. And that is what broke that like room to more opportunities. Okay. And I'll say thank you to StarTimes, even though then saizi hiyo pesa ilikuwa kidogo, but it was a good start for me. And that transitioned to now working with the likes of Oxfam International. And working with Oxfam International, for me, it was because I had built a community, and a community that was not basically focusing on Kenya, but Africa.
Let me ask you, when you say building a community, what does it take? What does it take to build a community? Like, what are you supposed to do in order to know that Joanne is in my corner, Johnny is my corner, Sophie is in my corner? You know, like, how did you, like, what kind of... How do I say, what type of content what were you putting out across out there that made you build that community?
So for me in 2018 community, I didn't actually look at it from the point of the people who are following me first or people who are engaging with my content. I looked at it as a side segment where we decide to have conversations on a particular day, particular time, and it has to be consistent. And we have a theme for it, and we are inviting people to teach us or to learn from. So imagine in 2018, I don't think we did actually have such communities. And I stole this idea from the likes of SEMrush. They used to have a SEO chat on X, content marketing. So I actually looked up to the Western a lot to learn a lot on
what
how
they
they
do.
run the communities, on how they teach people, on how they create engagements and build themselves. So I started to implement it in Africa. So that's why I decided to create now the Africa Tweet Chat, because I didn't actually know on how to choose the right word or the right name. But I went with, let's build something for Africa where we can learn about marketing, about digital, blogging, and everything. Not everything outside now the digital and marketing space, but within those lines, so that we can also build something that we can connect with. And I will tell you for sure, for me, it was very tough to start, because I used a whole month, actually 2 months, from December to February, to reach out to people. I just posted, I need people who are trainers, who are content creators, marketers, a long list. And I indicated, of course, the countries across Africa. I got so many requests, so many DMs. I took 2 months to actually reach out to every single person, just to ask them, are you willing to join this something that I want to create? Some of them will tell you, I'm so busy. Ama someone will be like, we uko kiwango cha chini sana.
Siwezi, like I can't,
But I understand them, because you are starting, so people feel like you're dragging them back.
Because I also feel like most people look at, they want to see value first.
So the people who agreed, we were like around 40. We created a WhatsApp group. So we were like, I envision us building ABCD, and I want us to have conversations every Thursday. Then it was every Thursday before we changed to Wednesday. The reason why we changed to Wednesday, because on Thursdays it was not working for so many people, but on Wednesdays it was working for most of the people from the countries. That alone really helped us to understand that community is more about connectedness, helping each other, and having people you can feel like you can, as much as you're learning together, you can lean on them on anything and everything. To date, we have that WhatsApp group, and there are people who have never left. We are just there. And anytime people are like, I need someone to reach out to in Kenya, I'm working on a campaign, I need statistics from Nigeria, from Senegal, someone is ready to offer that. And I was also envisioning it as a community where, away from the social media conversations, I needed people where we can ground ourselves. We boost each other in terms of growth, in terms of career access and market access. And that's exactly what we have done. Like, how can I help Joanne be able to make sure that her visibility is not just about visibility and building the numbers, but also building impact, in that at the end of the day, you gain something out of it. So that is how we started. And I think that aspect of connectedness with the community gives you a chance to be also recognized and easily recommendable to some of the businesses that are looking for maybe influencers to work with, strategists to work with, brand campaign planners to work with. That is how I landed on the likes of Oxfam International, the likes of Google Africa. I worked with Google, but it was good money. I worked with Google Africa.
Oh, that's nice.
I came in first as a PR. We were just in for PR, like sometimes you're sent to packages, of course, you brag, Google wameniletea hii na hii. But later on, they select some key.
So it was more of like a UGC? Like you'll be given the packages and then you talk about it.
And then you talk about it. But of course, Google Africa, I really like how their packages are very well thought, because they think about how to boost the small businesses across Africa. So that one, of course, even if you share, there's that yes, you have the influence, you're helping someone, the impact you're building. And that alone sometimes, and I think that is why some of the people, anyone who is in the market and thinking about building impact, I know sometimes people usually say that, kuna hii word tunatumianga, ati nikikuja haiwezi nipatia like money. Kuna kitu tunatumianga hiyo. Like, siwezi kuja ni attend event yako, alafu nilipe na visibility,
exposure.
You sometimes when you are building, you will understand how to balance. Even if you have grown to a point that you feel like umefika Safaricom level, there's a point you really need to understand, I have to show up because this is a new community. I may not really get monetary value, but I'm getting a community of people who really know my story, who never knew about me. But they don't even think that because people know you online, offline, people know you. You have no idea who you are. So you have to find spaces where sometimes you go for exposure, and the exposure that is going to give you value out of it. Because at the end of the day, the word exposure, I feel like it has been misused. There's exposure for a good way, in that you always try and see, if I go to this event, even if I want an ilipa, what am I going to gain out of it? If you can be able to access probably the businesses, the brands, the thought leaders who are making decisions, why wouldn't I go? Network. And they have paid everything for me. Oh, maybe umenilipia mali mnalala, umenilipia
everything, me ni kujipresent
too. But that also gives you that perception, because at the end of the day, digital is about building perception, and the perception you build, it starts with the kind of people you connect with, you engage with, the kind of brands you collaborate with. Because if you collaborate, for example, with Google Africa, what wouldn't make a competitor or a brand at that level to work with you?
Of course, nothing.
It's easier for them to work with you. And I think now that is what narrows down to, what are you presenting? And this is where I usually tell individuals this: if you're looking at building influence on social media, sit down and write all the skills that you have. Because when you talk about digital marketing, it's a whole umbrella.
It's a lot.
It has a lot of things under it. Write all the skills you're capable of offering, and write down all the businesses that you would like to work with. Start learning them. You have to constantly be aware of the industry and how they operate for you to actually pull them in with what you share and how you share, how you present yourself, and how you build at the end of the day. Because one of the things I've learned on digital, the people who give you opportunities are not people who have a lot of followers.
Of course.
The people who give you opportunities, hata hawana profile pictures.
Hata wakwangi social media. They don't even know what
wanakwanga professional stalkers.
Akona followers watatu.
But they watch. And I think that's one of the things I usually tell people a lot. When you are somewhere, even if it has to be a community, be keen on those people who watch silently.
They're decision makers.
They are the right decision makers. So how you present yourself, how you argue your points, how you share your opinions should matter a lot. Because there is someone, you might think that the industry is so big, there's a piece of cake for everyone. But sometimes you find that these are people who are interconnected. So it's easier for them to be like, so and so, I don't like the way they argue and blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes they kick you out of the opportunities. It's not a wish that everyone wants to be part of, but sometimes it happens because the industry is so small. So back to, how do you get to this building and also getting access to the businesses that you would like to work with? One of the things that I want you to think around is, how do you help? This podcast here is going to help a lot of people who are going to learn, who are going to tap into the few tips on how to manage themselves on digital, who are going to learn on the essence of communication. One of the things I usually tell people on digital, if you want to build yourself, you need to focus on clarity. And clarity starts from communication. So how do you present yourself? How do you create a boundary between, this is what I want to say and this is what I can't say? Because at the end of the day, you have to build power. The power that can propel you and the power that can help people know where are you heading to. Not that confusion of, atujui to follow up nini. Today tuko swimming, tuko Mombasa na wewe, kesho sijui tuko wapi. But I'm not saying that it's bad to share that. Understand what you can give your more niche. Priority. And then the others can come in
as a by the way.
Maybe during the
life
weekend.
Happens,
we need our social life is basically nowadays on the digital platforms.
Don't you think we are being judged harshly for being out there in terms of socially? For example, ukionekana uko Ibiza, kumbe hata huyu anakujanga and things like those one. Do you think as somebody who's in the digital space, you get to be judged harshly?
I think the judgment comes from first what you usually share and communicate online. If you're constantly brushing shoulders with people in the wrong way on the digital, of course they will be
they're the first one
so keen on where you are, what you're doing, and how they can actually tarnish your name. And one of the things I've learned about building your name on the digital is that it's very hard to please everyone, but it's very easy when you live it authentically.
Okay.
Yeah. And the authentic aspect of it should not like pressure you to feel like you need to live a certain way. And if you feel like there's pressure, you need to reevaluate what are you doing. And if possible, look for the right people to help you package yourselves. As much as, yes, I'm a strategist, sometimes it's very hard for me to heal myself. Yeah. So I need to look for a doctor.
Yeah, you need somebody.
I need a doctor who can give me the outside eye. And niambie, you know what, Janet? I love the way you're doing. You are an expert in this, but
this is what you can change. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, in ATC Digital Academy, how did it come by? And so far, the value, ni nini mmekuwa able kufanya, things like those.
A community is something that can actually change the trajectory of your entire life. And that is where my life revolves around. Okay. And that is why even if I have 2 people showing up, I will show up for those 2 hours. So
I've been on those spaces for me join.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm an avid follower.
One of the reasons why I want to give it an analogy of also the NGO spaces on non-governmental and community-based organizations. The reason why they thrive is because they have something called a community and people they cater for, people they reach out to from time to time. And sometimes the community-based organizations are the ones that transition to become NGOs, to become the greatest problem solvers in that community and beyond. And that is how I think I look at communities on the digital platforms. A community is a central point for you to meet the right people. You discuss, you talk, you learn. Because one of the best things you can do in a community is learn. But again, the best thing you can do for yourself is not just to be there, is to be visible, to be seen, to be read, to be understood, and to make people sit and be like, okay,
I think I want to learn more from these girls.
And I think I need to ask more. And I think I need to rethink my whole life when it comes to digital.
Yeah.
That's exactly why a community propelled me to think about a training space. Because from the community, when you are a leader, sometimes it comes with a lot.
Yeah.
And that means sometimes the people will call you and ask you, we need a training on ABCD. And then you come to realize, so that community has made me a trainer.
Yeah.
I can actually teach people because I also teach in the process of learning. And then going to universities, going to events, speaking, training.
Yeah.
It made me realize that I can actually, now that you're also getting more requests, can you train me on this? Can you teach me on this? Okay, fine. If you want teaching, and the business person who is helping you manage the aspect and entrepreneur mindset will tell you, you know what, this is a whole business.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a whole business. Okay. But you can't come out as Janet Machuka only. If you use a business, it gives it more power.
Yeah.
That is how ATC started. And ATC stands for Africa Tweet Chat.
Because I know Tweet Chat.
Yeah,
used to have. So you added Africa.
Yeah, so no, it's Africa Tweet Chat. So
I'm saying when you started, it was Tweet Chat, right?
No, it was Africa
Tweet Chat
since the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we only selected A, T, and C.
So
it gives, that is our story. That's how we started actually.
Okay, I see.
The academy is the one currently that offers corporate communications on corporate trainings, be it in communication, marketing, advocacy. And for individuals, currently what we are doing is we are partnering with tech spaces so that we can offer now the soft skills.
Yeah.
Since they're learning the tech side, we want to make sure our techies are actually smart enough on how to go about communication, marketing themselves.
Kenya tech space is very clean. Okay. So what are your non-negotiables when it comes to building real influence, especially in Kenya?
Wow, the first...
You cannot drop this one.
Oh my God. Number one, I would say build boundaries. And I think those are some of the things some of us get blurred because we want to build for numbers. We forget that whatever you are building, until the day you drop dead, that's when you're willing to know what is happening. You build it. If it's a personal brand, you build that personal brand until the day you die. Because after you die, you don't know what is going to happen. So think about it as something you live every day.
Okay.
So when you live it every day, you wouldn't want to lie. If you lie by the way, na ukidanganya, ultimately, unajua uongo kuanga na mwisho. Exactly. So if you live authentically and genuine, and you realize that digital people, for them, building trust is not easy as me meeting you, Joanne. Because nikikumiti kola, huyo ndio Joanne. Huyo anaongeanga hivi. It's easier for me to trust you. But when it comes to digital, I'll take time. And the trust comes from how are you like telling your story authentically? How are you interacting with people from a point of, you're not forcing issues, you're just yourself. And this is not just for individuals only, because right now when you look at how we build businesses and brands and how we build personal brands, it's almost the same thing. So if you focus on authenticity and then you realize every single effort you make, it can actually change the way things happen in the future. Number one. Number two, it can affect impact. There's a very good model that I usually use all the time. And this model, if I have to break it down, it will be a whole lesson. And it can help you to actually understand that your entire life as a professional person building on the digital platform depends on that. Number one, problem. You have to constantly think about what are the problems that are happening in my space. Number two, you have to constantly think about the insight. What do you pick out of that problem? What insight do you have that can help solve that problem? And as much as you think about how with the insight that can help solve that problem, think about what is the impact? Because at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes we think that we are creating brands for ourselves, forgetting that first we are not creating for ourselves. We are creating for people, world, them, and then after that, them realize, then you're the right person. They now build you back. So always think about, yes, it's a personal brand, but this personal brand, you just own that name. But most of the things that you share are for people. And that is where sometimes you have to look at what are other things people are interested in. What are other people want to know. It's not just about me all the time. You build that me to a point that people will be like, you are the me person, when you are kawaida. So how are you helping people so that you can also add them? That still goes back to the community aspect of it. Another thing I usually look at is in terms of consistency. And allow me to speak about consistency a little bit. Because when you talk about consistency, people imagine, yes, we have spaces every week. They think that, hata nikiwa kwa deathbed yangu, bado nitaamka nifanye hiyo space. No, consistency doesn't mean that. There are times you just need to break off. The whole of last year, I'll tell you for sure, people will I was nowhere in most of the spaces because I was handling my other things that I was going through and other things that I was doing. And that meant I can't show up on the space. But because I came back and still continued the space same time, same days, it was very easy for people to come back because they're part of the community. They understand this is something that you have been here for the longest. So consistency should not break you or push you to sometimes share some opinions that otherwise you wouldn't have shared. So if you need a break, take that break. But look at consistency in terms of three things. The core message. How do you present that message? If you are a digital marketer, if you are you're talking about communication, how do you anchor the main pillar conversations around that? Number two, think about the voice. What voice?
What are you projecting?
Exactly. How do you share your tone? How do you think about your brand from a voice point of view? And lastly, the value.
Perfect.
The values. The reason why we stay in relationships and we choose particular people to stay in our circle is because of the values. So the values are going to be the ones that will actually make you stay in a space and be consistent. And if you say, I will never go away from the point of community is my value, I care about people, that should be your main value. If your value is, okay, I want to focus on family as a value. There are people who have family as a value. And they can easily talk about it, which in a very good way.
Yeah.
So values should not change at all. If you master those three in terms of consistency, even if you have a break for 2 months of social media and then you come back, it's
the consistency
easier.
is still there.
It's easier to just go because people already know you on what you represent, and that also helps create that like way of how people engage you, how people communicate and converse with you, and the kind of respect people hold for you, and how they speak of you in a room full of opportunities. If someone can mention you, yet you didn't pay them to do that, that means you're doing something good. But again, it depends on those three: core message, voice, and value.
Okay, nice one. So I'd really want to, like, you, the way you're projecting it, being in this space, what are you looking at in terms of digital space in 2026? What are the trends? What are the new things that are happening? What nini uko nayo kwa mind? Are we talking about AI? Ama nini watu wanafaa kuangalia so much in this space that would make them build something that is authentic?
I'll try to bring a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation that I was having with a friend. And we were like, okay, right now everyone is talking about AI. But sometimes when you write content with AI and then you share it on social media, people will be like, you are not a tool.
ChatGPT.
In ChatGPT, in Gemini.
I know.
Sometimes it's very hard for us to know people's reactions because they never share at the end of the day. But sometimes
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know,
and
you
I think that goes back now to, yes, the tools are here. It's just like a jembe. Huwezi enda na shamba na jembe kwa shamba alafu kuwe like
usimame
wacha jembe jifanyie kazi. You have to involve yourself actively. It's the same thing I look at in terms of the AI tools. AI's tools are not here to actually take our authenticity or take our humanity in terms of how maybe you're using it for content creation. For example, after this podcast, if you find it very hard to cut into smaller pieces, you'll be like, let me use an AI tool, like the likes of Opus. I don't know how Opus. You can choose it because it's going to help you reduce the amount of work you will have spent doing the cutaways. And that's how I look at AI. AI, I think people should think about going into education programs or training programs where they can learn on how to work with the tool. Not just because you can open your ChatGPT because you have a free account, you can do everything there. On the other end, people are so judgmental, by the way. Some of us who are judgmental, we never even respond in those comment reactions. We will be like, oh, good. Or sometimes we even use our own ChatGPT or AI tools to respond to you. So I want you to think alongside yes, after thinking of using the AI, how are you working on the context? How are you working on
kushikana vizuri, like, in a way that I'll not feel like it's AI.
Exactly.
I'll still feel like it's Janet.
How can you bring in your personality in between? Let AI give you the structure, which is okay. There are some people who are actually very good on context prompting, or we call it context engineering prompting and all that. They really they can they can ask AI to write for them so well to a point that you can't
know it's AI.
Notice ni AI imefanya, but it's them because we understand their tone, we understand their voice, we understand their messaging, and also the value that they represent in most of their content. So think around the issue of education. And the best thing to do is always look at yourself as learning something. Even if you think you know how to use AI, you know how to use ChatGPT, kufungua tu na kutumia. Think about going into different sessions so that people can teach you on how to use it. One of the skills I feel like it's very important right now, and I think the reason why I have noticed one of the most important skill is because of now those of us who are in the tech space. So many people are yearning for communication that connects.
True.
Not communication that sounds like you are screaming at me. You just, unaniongelesha tu. And in this, I want you to think about these C's. You have communication, but this communication should be able to, one, you have content. Let's start with content because the content is what is going to help you communicate. You have the content, yes, but this content should be able to communicate. And this communication should not end at, nime post, nimeishia hapo. Think about that communication from a point of, I want people to converse. Because us as human beings, we are very curious of the comment section. Not even the likes, the comment. Nani wamesema nini? Yeah, we want to go and check there. So that communication should change it to conversation. And the conversation is where now the real engagement is. And that is when sometimes if you are very keen on the engagement side, the conversation side, you'll notice that you find new ideas. And there are some people sometimes, by the way, they get recommendations when you come to the next podcast from that conversation or comment section. And after you think about the conversation, now you think more about the collaboration. So that communication should also be able to give you an opportunity to collaborate with people, be it people who you're working with in terms of what you offer, or the corporates that you want to work with, or the fellow competitors you want to work with. And after thinking about collaboration, I want you to think about community. Because when you're collaborating more with people, you're building a huge community for yourself and for the people. Because at the end of the day, what is making a change is not about the engagement alone. And allow me to say this. I know most of the people usually think right now, the way you have a Take It From Me podcast, they will think that is your community. And you forget that even your social media pages are your community. You building your own personal brand, that's a whole community. So don't feel the pressure of creating another Kaside community just because you want to build a community. You have your own this is the community, your page yako. How can you start from it? That way it helps you to actually now miss out on this, not miss out. That helps you lessen the problem of I've been building for 2 years
and nothing.
Because you're putting a lot of pressure. And if possible, the best way to build a community is find one platform. There are people who are very good at actually building all the platforms at the same time, social media pages. And I think it's because of the systems and the structure they have. But if you feel like you don't have enough money to pour into the systems and structure, because structure and systems needs people, start from a platform you're comfortable with, build it so well and it's very fast. And then after that, now trickle it to the next platform. Because that way, it lessens the pressure of, I want to be everywhere. Unataka create content for TikTok, unataka kuingia LinkedIn, unataka kuingia YouTube, unataka kuingia podcast space. But right now, I think the beauty about building communities at the moment, if you have a podcast, you may hit so many birds with one stone.
Exactly, because even the short videos will go on social media.
Okay,
as you're winding up, I'd really want to know, because you have a background in PR, and then when you merge these two, what has been the scene, like what has been the game whereby you had some problems, things to do with PR stories, but through the background that you have in PR, you are able to solve that crisis. Teme kulikuwa na issue in terms of a brand that you worked with, but because at least you had a background in PR, you were able to solve that crisis.
There was a time, I think it was 4 years ago, for 2022, 2023 there. Royal Mabati had a crisis to do with how people were responding on their deliveries. And people were really making a lot of noise and sharing their receipts on social media. And someone referred me, so I was given that task. It's tough, by the way. And I think then first thing brands will be like, oh, let's go with the influencer marketing strategy. And sometimes, influencer marketing strategy doesn't work, especially if you are not solving the problem actively. I remember I had a series of meetings with them. And of course, online, you could see the key influencers were really banging them. Like, wanatoa receipts because the customers are sending them the receipts. So it's an actual problem. So how did we turn it around? At first, we went with, we did influencer marketing for a while, but we noticed that influencer marketing was not helping, because influencer marketing is part of PR, by the way. It was not helping in that the problem was not being solved. And the problem was people needed to get their deliveries within the stipulated time, the company did say. But people are not getting it. People are coming into their office. They are waiting. I also, one day I went there and I was just waiting for my meetings. I could tell so many people were walking in, people sitting, people talking to the customer care. So you can tell the commotion. And one of the things that really helped us now rethink. I asked them, do you have a customer relationship management tool? They didn't have. That is where the problem was.
Yeah.
So from my end, I was like, I don't think you need to do any marketing. Right now, your crisis is helping your competitors to rethink of marketing and branding. They are erecting billboards on the roads. They are even thinking about influencer marketing. They are even using, actually then influencer marketing for the competitors was, you pick the influential people, they rubbish this brand and they give an alternative
Credit
of the
to
other
this
brand.
other.
Yes. So that, they're taking away your customers, yet you've been doing very well. And one of the things we were very keen on, we were like, okay, I don't think influencer marketing is working. And I think this is where we as brand strategists, campaign strategists, communication strategies and PR people, we need to really be keen on not just being in there for the money, but also being in there to create the value. Because at the end of the day, the way you deal with brand A is going to change a lot on how you deal with your next clients.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, I don't think the right way is to actually go to the influencer marketing. Yes, I'm getting money out of it, but it's not working for you. It's actually going to drag me to feel like I'm not doing something as a marketer that I am in my space. I am not the right expert to work with because I am going with, okay, let's go with influencer marketing as the strategy. So going back to the drawing board, they had to rethink about building their own customer relationship management tool. And that is the major solution that they needed. Because once you have that, it's very easy for you to communicate to your clients. Because when you know very well that, kuna mvua ilinyesha, ama sometimes hata gari uharibikia kwa njia, by the way, mzigo haijafika. But if you know how to track, it's very easy for you to communicate. And a customer relationship management tool really helps with that. And right now, I look at businesses who are building. For startups, sometimes it's very hard to say that they can have that tool, because it's expensive if you're looking at the ones that are available online. So, but at the end of the day, when you look at you growing, think about a customer relationship management tool, because that is going to help you like manage, especially the crisis in terms of communication, because that is one of the worst place a brand can be, because when it comes, you panic a lot, and that panicking, it means you don't know where to start, so you confuse the whole process. But when you have a customer relationship management tool and you have the right customer representatives, they will always manage that. One of the reasons why we have a lot of breaks in terms of crises, be it even not even just in the businesses, but even look at even the governmental point of view, communication, even with our friends. The reason why everything breaks is the communication. If we messed up and then we come out to say, and just be genuine and say, yes, we messed up. I'm sorry about that. This and this is what's happened. And this is the real thing. It makes it easier for someone to be like, oh, thank you. At least you did what? You communicated. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was it from our end. On this platform, I normally give somebody a chance to give a shout out to anyone. It can be your friend, it can be your colleague, it can be your spouse, it can be wherever. Just a shout out and then we are done.
I think my main shout out will go to my community people on Africa Twitch chat. And the beautiful lady Monchari, Joyce, who is managing our community so well and very well. And to everyone who is looking at being part of a community that is now currently beyond just we are beyond a little bit. We are going into the social conversations, especially alongside health, alongside agriculture and tech. You can join us. We run our communities community conversations every Wednesday from 9 p.m. EAT to 10 p.m. EAT. Yes.
That's very nice. So if anybody is looking for you on your social media platforms, what's your handle?
Allow me to brag. Please Google me or go to even ChatGPT and ask it, who is Janet Machuka? They will give you everything about me because I built my portfolio way back from 2019. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate you being with us today. And asante sana to my viewers. Until next time. Bye.